Hey everyone, it's What's Your Fox Gaming here. Hope you're all having a great weekend so far. So I thought I would finally cave and do a Adrenaline Rush Intimidate build. I've been meaning to do it for a while, and whilst I'm not really a big fan of playing the top tier meta, you know, I like to leave that to everybody else. I thought it was time to do it. I've been sort of inspecting a lot of players that I see do really well in the DZ and Conflict, and I've put together a build that I think is kind of in the sweet spot here. It's, you know, not the armor regen build that's it's probably a bit more popular because it's really safe. This is what I would class as more of a skillful build, and that's not to put down the armor regen build because it's still very difficult to play. But this is a very sort of get in and out quickly, high damage, low survivability build. So what I've essentially done here is worked around the two talents as best as possible. So I have used the is it the Matador? Yeah, the Matador backpack, which is perfect Adrenaline Rush. So whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you do gain 23% bonus armor for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. And then of course Intimidate, which also works within 10 meters. While you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. I've also opted to go for Firewall as my specialization of choice here for probably 2 reasons, or maybe 3 actually. So the first reason is obviously the armor kit. Your armor kit recovers 200% armor and health every 10 seconds. That's really strong. The second is applies burn to any enemies within 5 meters on armor break. So that's really good. You know, you're going to be within that range anyway for the most part, so that's really useful. And then the third and final is allies deal 10% damage to enemies that are within 10 meters of you. So this is just to further improve the damage. I could even use the striker shield here because I do even more damage if I do that, but I wanted this to be a proper run and gun build. So I've opted to go for 2-piece Sokolov for obvious reasons. The SMG damage, of course, is going to help out Lady Death here, which is very much the meta at the moment. Now the reason this is meta is they gave it quite a substantial damage buff. So when moving, gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks in total. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 75%, which is ridiculous. Kills grant 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. So this is really strong, and the movement speed is one of the strongest parts of it, not even the damage, because you can just close the gap to the next player, get within that 10 meters, or get out if you need to. So I thought that's going to work really well with this build, because it's very much a hit and run, drive-by sort of build. The second piece of Sokolov gives me critical hit damage. I like that they've done this with Sokolov. This is actually quite clever because SMGs have inherently high critical hit chance, so they put that as a third and final, so you really don't need to run the third one. I did actually run a Seska in here anyway. I could have put a third Sokolov, but this was too good a roll not to use. I've got a Grupo in here for the critical hit damage. And that's the second Walker and Harris there, so Walker, Harris and Co. So I've got the weapon damage and the damage to armor. Excuse me. So if you look at my stats, 60% critical hit chance, which is awesome. 184.3 critical hit damage, which is even more awesome. And 11% damage to armor, which I'm really happy with as well. So you get that on 5% here on the Walker, Harris and Co. And 6% here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this build. I do use it with the right foam because that's also meta at the moment. So this is basically just a very meta build. Firewall, Lady Death, Adrenaline Rush, if I remember the name of it, and Intimidate. It's not the armor regen version. This is more a conflict build, which is why I've gone for less armor and more reds. But let's take it into a game. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, that was a super long loading time. That means it's probably going to put me halfway through a game that my team are massively losing. Ugh. So I've got to play this build... oh no, it's at the start. I've got to play this build quite smart, really, because I don't have that armour. So you can see the stacks building up there with the 2 sort of akimbo pistols underneath my ammo count. I'm using the EMP jammer to hopefully break shields and skills, because I'm a bit squishy here. Oh, some guy just killed himself on their team. I'm coming to help you, buddy. And then yeah, the right foam just to instant melt. Look at that speed boost. This guy doesn't even know I'm here yet because he's reloading. Oof. Super zippy boy. Oh, I see you, I see you. Get schmelted. So now I can close the gap nice and quick. Look at that speed boost, man. It's awesome. Super speedy boy. Sorry, professional streamer here, guys. I'm going to go crazy for more kills. This is where the mecha comes in handy. I'm going to stand in the open and do it because I'm brave. Ugh, no! Oh, I was getting carried away there. So that's basically how the build plays out. You want to be speeding from one kill to the next. Now, admittedly, I was playing incredibly gun-ho there, but that's only because they all had low armor builds. All got the bully medal as well. Nice. Yeah, so for me, it's the speed boost that actually makes Lady Death. I don't even care about the damage on the stacks. It's all about that speed boost. I think it makes it one of the strongest weapons in the game, because ultimately you need to be getting within that 10 meters, and if you've got a long lane like this, it can be quite tough. If you play it smart. Oh, I just killed a guy. Don't not even res him. Yeah, if you play it smart. It also stacks as well, so not only does it refresh the bonus, but it actually goes up. I don't know if it's multiplicative or additive, but the speed goes up. So you can go like 20, 40, 60%. I tested this on shock traps. My buddy went rogue in the DZ just for me to test it. Threw out a shock trap. I shot a few out. I was a super speedy boy. So it does stack. If you can get multiple kills in the 10-second window, you're like a rocket. This does work with any other SMG, but I think Lady Death is the one to go for. Ah, oh, sorry team, I'm the only person that's died. Ouch. Where's that? Another person there? Speed boost. I'm going to help my team out nice and quick. Wow, we are absolutely dominating this team. Crazy game. But yeah, hopefully this has given you a good indication of how to play the build. It doesn't always go this smooth, but yeah, it's great fun, honestly. I really enjoy it, and I'll see why it's meta, because it's one of those builds that's not just...
You've won an emphatic victory. Well done.
I'll give you an example. The efficient meta, I felt it could make players with very low skills still do really well, and you know, whilst I do want people of all sort of different levels of skill to be playing Conflict in the Dark Zone, because it just makes it a better experience for everybody, and you know, you learn a lot from other players. I don't like gear sets or talents or anything that's broken that just makes even poor players excel, because that tells me that it's broken. I used to be really bad at Conflict, and I slowly but surely learned by playing against better teams, inspecting their builds, and you know, being smart around it. So the efficient meta for me wasn't great. I didn't really enjoy it at all, just because everybody was unkillable and it was just stupid. It wasn't fair. This meta, however, I think is actually quite balanced, and you know, please don't shoot me down for saying that, but it's not difficult to kill an armor regen tank. It's not difficult to kill the build that I've just playing. It's not difficult to dodge or make yourself hazard resistant to riot foam. So, and you know, all of my builds cater to all of those things that I've just said. So, you know, this meta is quite balanced. Obviously there's something that's strong, but there's always going to be something that's strong. There will always be a top of the tier build or weapon. So, you know, it doesn't mean that you should hate on it necessarily, but this season or patch is a lot better than the last one, because at least people are quite killable now. So I don't mind playing the meta as much this season. I got a bit of a bad taste in my mouth from last season. That build, however, was super good fun. I'm going to be playing that a bit more. I'm going to try it in the Dark Zone as well. So, yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments. You know, if you think I'm absolute scum for using riot foam, I don't blame you, to be fair, but you know, I wanted to play a meta build, and that is the meta. So, but please let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions on the build, again, let me know in the comments, and your likes and subscribes go a long way for me, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.